Hello everybody, welcome back to Quest for Truth. Today we're going to be talking about worth and where it comes from. Our society has a whole lot of issues that are based off of a lack of the knowledge of human worth and where it comes from. So we're going to look right at Genesis chapter 1, starting in verse 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the sky, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the sky, and over every living thing that moves on the earth." Then God said, "Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed that is on the surface of the earth, and every tree which has fruit yielding seed. It shall be food for you, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the sky, and to everything that moves on the earth which has life. I have given every green plant for food." And it was so. God saw all that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening and morning, the sixth day. So we're made in the image of God. Now, God doesn't have a physical image. God is spirit. So what does it mean that we're made in the likeness or the image of God? Well, if you look at the difference between animals and humans, it's very clear that, it's easy. Anyone could see the difference between animals and humans. They live out in the woods. We live in houses. They don't know the difference between right and wrong, and we do, which leads us to what? That we have a spirit and they don't, and that we have moral obligations before God to do right over wrong. And of course, not too much later, we find the fall of man, where rather than choosing to obey God, Adam and Eve chose to rebel against God, at which point the image of God in us was tarnished, but it's still there. And so we may not be able to see it as easily today as it was when Adam and Eve were first created, perfect, but we still know that we're made in the image of God, and that's what gives us worth, and we have a spirit. And so when we look at whether it's issues within ourselves or cultural issues or having compassion for other people, we should remember that every human being, even ourselves, is made in the image of God, and that's what gives us worth, and that's what makes us different than animals, and that's what makes us different than plants, and that's what makes us have the rule over the earth, to not for evil but for good, to use it and not abuse it, but ultimately it's for our benefit, and our goal should be to glorify God through that. And as we glorify God, that tarnish that exists over the image of God within us grows slightly less, and we become to look more and more like him. So thanks for tuning in today, and I will see you next time.